Alya's world had crumbled around her. Cihan's betrayal had deeply wounded her, like a wound that bled more with each passing moment. Seeing Cihan with Mine was a cruel joke echoing in her mind. Jealousy, like a venomous snake, coiled around her heart, squeezing her. How could he do this to her, to their families? The pain was unbearable, a physical ache consuming her. Her love for Cihan, once a warm embrace, was now a suffocating prison. She poured her anger onto Cihan, her words piercing his heart like daggers. Each accusation was fueled by her pain and the sting of betrayal. Sadakat saw an opportunity in Alya's despair. She whispered poisonous words in her ear, fanning the flames of her anger. "He doesn't deserve you," she hissed. "He chose someone else. You deserve better, Alya. You deserve freedom." The word freedom hung in the air, like the promise of a dangerous escape. Lost in her pain, Alya clung to Sadakat's words like a lifeline. Divorce, once unthinkable, now seemed like the only solution. The seed of doubt had been planted, and it was rapidly growing, nurtured by the heartbreak in her heart and Sadakat's manipulative whispers. Kaya lurked in the shadows, his eyes fixed on his prey, Zerrin. He had watched her, learned her routines, and waited for the perfect moment to strike. His obsession with Zerrin had grown, twisting into a dangerous desire for control. Zerrin would be his, no matter the cost. His opportunity came on an ordinary day. Lost in her thoughts, Zerrin was walking home alone. His heart pounding with excitement, Kaya made his move. He grabbed Zerrin, silenced her screams by covering her mouth, and dragged her towards a waiting car. Panic seized Zerrin. She struggled with all her might, but Kaya was too strong. Her cries for help were swallowed by the roar of the engine as Kaya sped away, leaving dust and despair in his wake. News of Zerrin's disappearance spread like wildfire, descending upon the Albora family like a dark cloud. Fear and confusion reigned as they grappled with this new nightmare. Their world, already teetering on the edge of a precipice, was threatened with complete collapse. Cihan's blood ran cold when he heard the news. His beloved sister Zerrin was gone, kidnapped in broad daylight. A protective instinct surged within him, a fierce determination to bring her back safely. His family was under attack, and he would protect them at all costs. He channeled his fear into action, his mind racing as he tried to make sense of what had happened. Who would kidnap Zerrin? Why? The questions swirled around him, adding to the growing sense of dread. He vowed to find her no matter the cost. He rallied his family, encouraging them to stay strong in the face of this new threat. But their unity was fragile, already fractured by Alya's pain and Sadakat's insidious influence. Unaware of the true extent of the danger, Cihan pressed on, fueled by the strength of his love for his family. The weight of responsibility settled upon him, threatening to suffocate him. He had to find Zerrin, protect his family. But time was running out, and each passing moment brought a fresh wave of fear and uncertainty. Mine watched the unfolding events with a smug grin. Her plan was working perfectly, each piece placed precisely to inflict maximum damage. Alya's world was falling apart. Cihan's attention was diverted, and the Albora family was on the brink of collapse. She had orchestrated everything, manipulating people and events to suit her twisted desires. Her love for Cihan had long since curdled into a toxic obsession, a need to possess him completely, even if it meant destroying everything he held dear. The news of Zerrin's kidnapping was merely a pawn in her game, a way to further isolate Cihan, to make him dependent on her. She thrived on chaos, on the pain and suffering of others, her heart a cold, empty void. As the Albora family struggled to cope with this new crisis, Mine reveled in their despair. She was the puppet master, pulling the strings, playing with their lives as if they were toys, and she had no intention of stopping until she achieved her ultimate goal: to possess Cihan completely.